and one fish, two fish, and one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a red fish, blue fish. Okay, that's sounding good. Oh, I still have the dream promo up. I should get rid of that. I still have the dream promo up. I'm still echoing like an SOB. Let's turn that off. Let's just take a quick peek in on the YouTube. SOB. Let's turn that off. Let's just take a quick peek in on the YouTube. Okay, YouTube is sounding good. I think we're fine. Other than my janky sound setup. Let me see. So in the roundabout, I still have the tree promo. Let me we can ignore that. I'm gonna have to try to remember to get that because it's in a gallery somewhere. I have to just pull it out and restart OBS to get that. Or restart. Can I just restart the gallery? I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's probably time to update that anyhow. Because that's a few months old, and I've got a bunch of other products I can put in there now. Yo, it's Mr. Charles in the house, baby. Oh yeah, how you doing, Charles? It's Materials Day. Yo, Leo, good to see you. And I gotta try to remember to be quiet. Basically, we are setting up materials, and we're going to render out thumbnails. We're going to start with thumbnails, and we're working on the Rockabilly swim. And maybe we'll work a little bit on some of the other lingerie sets that I have set up. So making progress on those as well. And thank you for that shout out there, Mr. Charles. So let's set this up. And when I do thumbnails, what we do is we render the tip file first, which is 256 by 256. And then I go, after I do all the tips, we then resize those down to 91, and rename them to be the thumbnails. Let's make thumbnails for these. Then we're going to come over here and set up a whole bunch of material files. Finished up creating the textures for these yesterday in Substance, or at least I hope I did. We got to set up materials for the shoes, and we got to set up materials for the dresses. First off, we're going to resize our render. I'm going to set that to be 256 by 256. I'm going to go find a HDRI that we can use as a background. So I'm going to move my content library over to screen 2 a little bit while I navigate to where we keep our lighting presets. So hold on. We'll bring it back in a minute. And I really like those Cake One stuff, so we're probably going to just grab one of those. Cake One has a whole bunch of these click and render presets. So I'm going over to my light presets. Shoved all my iRay ones into an iRay folder. Click and render. All right, I'm going to bring this back. So I have I almost never use this one. This is the black and white. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea, but then it never sing to me. This is probably the go-to set here. Click and render IBL set. I think this was her first one. But I also do like the pastels. So the debate is, do I want to put a really nice pastel color background in there? And then these are the spooky ones, which are really niche, seldom used for thumbnails. So I think we'll just go with one of these, and I'm going to find something that I usually like something that kind of isn't too backlit, but still has some shaping and isn't got. I have a tendency of putting too much strong colors in some of these sometimes, but you know what? I think we'll just try this one for today. And I have my light set in there. I think we'll just turn those off. Put the headlamp on. I'm just going to do a test render and see what we've got here. I think I'm going to tweak the brightness on that just a little bit. I think that might be a bad idea. Let's put a white texture in here and we'll see how that looks. And then we'll start. I don't want my whites to get too blown out. I've been trying not to make whites actually white, because DAS has a real tendency to blow out light colors, so they all just go straight to white. And I know you can adjust the lights, but I'd rather. I probably should work more with the default lighting. That might help solve the problem. Anyhow, Rockabilly Swing, Rockabilly 2025 people, Genesis. I'm just gonna put the dress on for right now, and I'm gonna put one of the white textures on it. We're gonna see how that's rendering out. So I'm just gonna come in here and swap out all the texture maps, color maps for the white one that is in here. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna browse, and hopefully that opens up to a safe directory. It did. So now we're looking for, there is white base color, which looks a lot like gray, right? And I would just want to see how that renders out. So Control R, and then we're going to tweak. I should probably zoom in a little closer to give you a better look. That's not too bad. I think that level of light's going to work. Let's zoom in a bit. I'm going to just switch to Ira here for a second so we can see this on stream a little bit better. You know what? I think that lighting is going to work. I think my dress doesn't have smoothing turned on or the level of subdivision added, so I got to resave that. That's how come this is cracking right in here. My displacement map's doing that. I heard a, yo, Irumakin. How you doing, buddy? I'm rendering thumbnails and making material files for this dress I've made. So welcome in. I make clothes for Dad's Studio. People actually pay money for it, so hey, there's that. How was the stream? Well, I gotta ask the question, what were we up to, dude? Everybody follow Yorumakin if you can. He's super cool guy. Streams a couple of times, almost every day. Once during the day and once at night. During the day, you get all sorts of. Sometimes you get he's out and about on a bike, or sometimes he's hanging out over the DQ, seeing what strange going ons are over at the liquor store. I have seen that. Played Music Jeopardy today. Ooh, cool. Some days it's Music Jeopardy. Occasionally there is detecting. So all sorts of fun stuff. It's just a chill place to hang out with a bunch of friends. And then later tonight you generally do the words on stream. Maybe there's some puzzle making, Kinder eggs, and all sorts of good stuff. It's so hot. You think all your ears melted? It is. Well, it's 83 here so far. For my partner though, that's really, really hot. I've got to the spiders keep crawling up into the window. Don't they know that this is a place that's not good for them? Anyhow, I'm good with this light. 89 on its way to 93. I know we may get up that high. Well, maybe not 93, but it's going to be, it's supposed to get a lot warmer during the week though, right? I saw the forecast. I think it was at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Solidly in the mid 90s. Hey, Memloss, thank you for joining the raid. Appreciate that. Anyhow, I have to resave this because I have to do a couple of things on that. Just going to apply that. So my dress needs to have, I think I have to put the smoothing modifier on it and then resave it. And then I have to resave it again with the buttons. Also, I don't want to use displacement map on these straps, so I'm going to change that as well. Hot all week, very humid. Yeah, and the humid, that's the worst part. I lived in California. We didn't have humidity. So I could get by with 100-degree days, because you sweat, you cool off. Here, you sweat, you're just sweating. It's 90 degrees with too much. Thunderstorms are rolling through. That's the problem. I, of course, blame Mitch McConnell for all of it. That's right. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's true. My brain has stopped. Okay, I have to make some adjustments to this dress, then I'm going to resave it. And we're going to start working on rendering out thumbnails of things. What I got to do with this dress is I got to come over here and I got to edit my geometry and I got to convert to sub D. Okay, we've converted to sub D. Let me just make sure I have the smoothing. Add a smoothing modifier. It says I already have one. Okay, so we're good. I'm going to just come over here and we're going to memorize. I'm going to switch this to generic. Because it's a dynamic dress. Mass resolution is this, so I'm going to memorize these settings. Also, I want to tweak the surface settings on this. If we zoom in, you can see I have a displacement map on there. I think I'm going to take the displacement map off the ribbon. I might change my mind, but for right now, I think I'm going to do that. So the ribbon will look really thin. So right now, it's got fake thickness. So I don't know if the fake. Also, the normals get flipped on the ribbon. That's part of the reason why I'm going to probably just take the displacement map off of that. So it'll look a little bit, so you don't get a weird displacement flip. Yeah, well, I'm going to take it off here. We have the fake thickness here, which is good because it makes it look a little like I've spent more time with it. But with this, I think I can get away without. Like I said, in order to get the look right, I had to flip normals. So the normals here, if you pull this strip all the way out, get flipped halfway through. Actually, let's see what it looks like. I have a morph that fixes that. We'll roll in that do strap morph. I want to see if it looks weird. It starts looking, see, it looks weird right there. And I don't know do I want to just leave it that way or not? I'm leaning towards not. So I think I'm going to clear those up. We're basically just going to just that, and that. And I'm just going to take the displacement off of that or set the strength to 0. You know what? Let's just say none. Let's see how that. I think I'm still getting bump map in there though, aren't I? I think I can probably live with that. I want to just check something on this. Did I set the base bump to 0 on those? Before I make 20 material files, it's nice to kind of have this stuff set down already. And also if we 0 the normal map, I'm still getting a crease in there. You know what? I think I'm probably just going to get a crease in there from the way the normals face. So maybe I'll just put the displacement back on, and maybe I'll just lower it a little bit. Let's take a look. Let's reset that. Oops. I might just have to live with that. That looks a little bit better. I think I might just lower the displacement a little bit, but other than that, I think I'm probably okay. And it gets a little, if you could actually see the ends, it would be a little bit funky looking, but we're good. That. Let's just put that minimum displacement to 0.5. I'm going to lower that down. I think that'll be Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Let's reset the dress. Control Shift F. I'm just gonna memorize once again just to make sure. I have to save the dress again. I have to actually save it twice because I want to save it with the buttons, but I have to save it first without the buttons as a figure prop asset. And then we're going to resave it on top as a wearable. I just have to do that to update the data folder. Hey, thanks for shouting out Loki there, Mr. Charles. Hey, everybody, buy Loki stuff. He's cool. He makes clothes now, too. The link should be right there in chat. And my brain stopped. And I don't see the shout out over on YouTube. Damn you, YouTube. I'll have to look into that. I'm saving the dress, right? I'm gonna save over that. Yes. We're just gonna double check and make sure none of this got weird. I think I'm good, so I'm gonna accept that. So this is basically a save just to update the data folder. Then I have to resave it again to just make sure I've got it saved with all the buttons attached. Heck, I'm hot, LOL. So here, let's come over here, and I'm just going to select that and save it as a wearable preset for that. So this is just the dress with the buttons, wearable preset. I'm just going to overwrite that again. This won't actually update the data folders, but we just did that, so we're good. And this saves all the attached items. I'm going to do that. Should be good. Ooh, I don't think we're going to get over 100 next week, but we definitely have the mid 90s, maybe even upper 90s. You know me, I'm blaming Mitch McConnell. I should probably find a new target. JD Vance? Nah. We all know whose fault it really is, but we don't speak his name here. Right, I'm going to add the shoes and we're going to resave the full outfit. So we got our shoes on. I'm just going to do another wearable preset. Save, and we're just going to overwrite that. We've updated the dress a little bit. Update, apparently the short sleeve raglan does have D-force. So the testers in chat, keep that in mind. Oh, okay. Is it supposed to? You actually mentioned that as a feature? All right, we're going to save the pose on that. I want to just save the bent feet, so I'm just going to come over here and check only all modifieds. Accept that. Probably good. Actually, I'm going to resave that. I want to resave that pose part of it. Change my mind. I want to save it like... Okay, and then I'm going to come over here, include the pose, turn that off. We're just going to go down and select everything from the feet down. Like that. This way, it makes sure the toes get re-zeroed out. That, and then I'm going to save that. So there we go. You swear you did not add it, but it's there. You did not mention it. Well, if you didn't mention it, it shouldn't count against you. That's my philosophy. If you don't say it's a feature, but it's there anyhow, you don't mention it. It's like if it works, great. If it doesn't work, it's not a feature. Stop using it. I occasionally will have extraneous morphs that I never mention in items. Um, According to Willie, it works great. Well, that's good. And had to redo the bikini set because thanks to a promo email from our hub, you found a vendor who had the entire line of daily products, including a bikini or two. Oh man. I will admit, I do kind of search for the names of products when at the stores I'm going to submit it to. So now it's everyday bikini. Oh, that's kind of a pain in the ass. I try to remind myself to do that early on. Check the names against existing products. Oh, but you forgot about our hub. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. All right, I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to render some thumbnails. We're going to hide this. I'm going to turn off. I'm going to do. Let's do that. I'm going to hide this. We're going to turn off the GPU cooking rendering that I've got going on in the background. And in the scene, we'll just put that there. I'm going to do this. We're going to do our render. I do that too. I still kind of peek at rendo. Although there's probably a rock. I don't think there's a rockabilly swing. I know there is a rockabilly outfit, but they just say rockabilly. And it's a top and a pants set. I don't even know if it has shoes. It might have shoes. Anyhow, we've got our first thumbnail. Let's go save it. Um, right there and there. Actually, these are the tip files. Remember that, kids. When I say thumbnails, I actually mean tip file. Then we'll convert it to a thumbnail later on. All right, we're going to replace that. Let's hide the shoes. Let's zoom in on the dress. Render that. He also fixed the after dark dress. No more eyelets and no more laces. Only a few people know what it originally looked like. And poor Willie, who's crying about it. Because he really likes the laces, didn't he? All right, that's good. Save that. Already exists. Would you like to replace it? Yes. All right, let's do the shoes. Bring that back. Let's hide that. I'm going to pose the thighs. We're going to bring the legs in for the shoe thumbnails. Let's expand down to here. So left thigh. I don't remember. I think left side is -6 on the side to side. Yep. And then right thigh is 6. Control D. Zoom in on the shoes. Got them like that. See how this renders out. Control R on that. And the eyelets too. Yeah, the eyelets can be a pain in the butt, and I get why you're going to give him orange fur and play around with. So you got to make Willie happy though, right? All right, we've rendered the shoes. Save that. That overwrites that tip file right there. Already exists. Would you like to replace it? Yes, please. All right, now we're going to hide this. Bring that back. Actually, now I got to rehide this and this. Select that. Over here to surfaces, and let's just give that a mannequin texture. Let's put that the thumbnail for the foot pose. You're off to the Lego store. Hey, enjoy the Lego story room, Ken. And thank you again for that raid, buddy. I appreciate it. That's right. Rumikin will build Legos on stream too. You want to check that out too. I'm gonna save that. That's gonna be the thumbnail for the foot pose. Yep. All right. I'm gonna convert these over to thumbnails now. So just come over here and let's open you up. So I don't need you, and you. Those are the original thumbnails. They're garbage. I'm going to resize these. I'm going to use the power tool resizer. I have this set to go to 9191 already, so we're just going to hit that. Then we're going to change the names of these because the resizer doesn't name these the way they're supposed to be named. Use power renamer. I'm going to replace tip that with, do I have a duff in here? I don't have a duff in here. But apply, should be good. Back over here, refresh, and we got our thumbnails and our tip files for those. So moving along. I'm going to organize. So I'm going to this has simulation settings in it. So I don't want to save that. At some point, we're going to get rid of that. And Illumican is off with the lurk, baby, to the Lego store. Huzzah. I think I might have 8 texture sets, which we're going to do the clean versions and the dirty versions. This dress has black on the hems, so I'm going to do 3 versions of that, long, short, or long, medium, and short. Most of the others aren't going to have trim on the distinct trim on the hem, so I can just use I can make a material file that'll just change the length. So actually, let's get the basic ones in here, and then we'll think about lengths. What we need to do, and also we're going to have to save for buttons. I'm going to have to hide the buttons while we're doing this. Because Daz saves so slow, when we have the smart content running, we're going to come over here, smart content, and we're going to turn that off. This will save me hours of work. Stop the CMS. Don't use FASC. I've tried that before and it didn't like it. It's a trick. It's a trick. Honestly, the smart one doesn't take that long, so I don't know why there's one that says fast. The smart one goes so fast. It's like, why is there a difference? Okay, actually shut down Jazz. It's too hot to try and think work, so I think you'll take the day off. Oh, dude. You're here for now, but you may not be. Got it. All right, let's get our dress back in here. I think the dress is still in here. I'm going to hide the buttons, though, because we're not saving the material files, material settings for that. We'll save that with the hierarchical materials later. Maybe not today, but where am I? I'm going to the scene tab, right? I'm going to hide that and bring the dress back. I'm going to select the buttons. No, black buttons on black probably wasn't the best choice. Where's the buttons? I can't find my buttons. There those are. The button in here somewhere. Should be right about there. I don't know why I can't select it. I'm going to have to manually drill down to find it. There it is. You know, we'll just turn them off as we go. And the other one's over on the right thigh. Okay, I've got the buttons hidden. I'm going to kind of zoom in on that while we do the thumbnails. Maybe, yeah, I'm going to do something like that. If I do a long, most of my materials are going to look like this. Okay. Just going to save this as a material file. So let's see how I'm going to name this. Material preset. Object in a scene. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. So I'm going to Rockabilly Swim RS01 red and black because I can't use the ampersand. Apparently it confuses Max or something like that. Red and black. I'm going to say long on this one. And I think that's good. So all of this should be fine. I think I'm happy with most of the settings here. So we're just basically going to uncheck all simulation settings and go from there. And then I'm going to kind of figure out what I want to do with the other ones. And that's the default camera. So let's copy. I'm going to dupe this camera, rename it, and maybe freeze it or something. Edit, create camera or something like that. Create new camera. Copy active. Accept that. I'm going to call you material. Camera materials. Dress materials. Dress materials. There we go. And we're happy with that. Let's maybe I just lock the whole camera. So I don't accidentally move it or anything. Now let's go into edit mode. Select everything. And I just do this, come all the way down here, and then just lock selected properties. This way I really just can't move it, right? I can move it. That did not work. Let's try. Oh, let's try that again. Lock selected properties. You did not lock. You bad boy. Can I just do this? Lock selected nodes. Can I not lock a camera? Is that what it comes down to? Guess I just can't lock a camera. Well, let me memorize it. And then if I do this, you are not resetting. You're being bad. Memorize. Selected items. I am in the wrong camera. That's the reason why it looks like it's moving. Never mind. Let's go to the camera that I... There, I can't move this camera. Excellent. We're good. And then if I need to come back here, I have this camera saved. It'll be definitely here the next... Got a mini grocery order coming in 3 p.m. Oh, you still... Yeah, it would be nice to be there for your groceries. I get that. Brain has stopped. All right, we're doing colors. I'm happy with that. And we can just switch back to, like, say, camera 1. And I'm going to back camera on off a little bit so I can see the ham. And when I render, I'll just switch back into this camera. Let's go over to the surfaces tab. Select the dress. Let's see, what do I want to make all of this stuff? You know what? I'm going to copy this and paste it onto everything. Except for the straps. We'll redo the straps. This is going to be my base cotton, I think. And the cat wants to eat. And last but definitely not least, the teenager wants to eat. Ugh. Didn't she just eat yesterday? What the hell? It's like you got to feed him daily or something. And yeah, let's just swap out base color. Actually, what I need to do is I want to update these. I'm going to copy this. Nope. Which I have it copied, don't I? I want to apply that to all the black stuff in here. You know what? I'm just gonna. That's black. That's black. That's black. And black, and the pockets are black. So I'm gonna paste this on top of those. So the black is set up with kind of a silk material, and this is set up with more of a cotton. So I want to do this all in cotton. Now I'm going to add a different base color. So let's put that there for just a second. Select all of this. I just browse. Here we go. You know what? Black and white. Do that. And do I want to put any highlights on here? I want to make that maybe white. White there and white there. Maybe white on the bottom hem. That. We'll do the ribbons in white. And that. Let's see how that's looking. Metallicity should all be the same. Oh, it's still, I didn't redo the straps. I gotta redo the strap. You know what? I'm just gonna, and I'm just gonna reset the strap displacement. I lowered that, right? Here, we made that 0.05. Now I'm just gonna reapply that black and white base color. And I think we're gonna just make the straps, top ribbon, top center, pockets, and maybe the lower hem. And let's swap in the white for that and see what that looks like, if I want to keep that or if I don't. Is that my white? There's my white. Part of me is thinking I want to do that. I'm just going to take a render and see what I think. I might go with that. I'll call that the black and white. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Back to here. The key. Material preset. Also, that white trim might look nice with the blue and... Do I have a blue and white? I think I have a blue and white. Anyhow, I'm going to call this RSO2. Black and white. And you know what? This is a long, and white shouldn't have a capital H. Let's get rid of that. And we uncheck the simulation settings and say okay. All right, excellent. All right, let's do... My only thing is, do I want to make that on the blue and white? Do I want to just leave that? Well, here, let's see how it looks. Oh, not lower hem, upper hem. Zipper. Do that. Let's swap that out with the blue and white. See what I think. Do I want to go with that? I think I might pull. Yeah, I think we're going to just make this the dot pattern on the hem as well. Blue and white, basic colors. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. All right, let's save that out. Going to be 3. Blue and white. I might not call that long later on. We'll see. Uncheck. Simulation settings and accept that. All right, let's grab all of this. I'm going to switch all of this to the yellow, black. Maybe I'm just going to leave that one like that. Or can add just a touch of black. Those. I want to use it just says black. Yeah, I probably should just browse for it. I think I like the black. Gotcha. I'm gonna make the bodice black. That's the. I'm thinking not. Maybe. This is me uncertain what I want to do. I think I'm going to go with that. I like that better. And I'm not going to trim out the hem on that one either. I think most of these I'm not going to do a hem trim. Anyhow, all right, let's save that. Material preset. Going to be 04, yellow and black. And then we've got a white and black, which I'm probably. So this is classic yellow polka dot, yellow and black. And I'm probably not going to call that long. And uncheck simulation settings, save. Pretty Loki doing a render with your new top and everyday swimsuit. Charles is already calling it the right name. He's quick. I'm going to remove long from this one too. For the white and black, I might. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. So we're just gonna swap out the yellow here for the white and black polka dot goes. I went by it. There it is. Save that. Hey, no one has their hands on the renamed bikini yet. I thought Charles was paying attention and was already on the ball with that. Material preset. Gonna be 5. This is gonna be white and black. Uncheck all values. Accept that. Okay, we're gonna do. I'm now in the patterns. Let's just grab all of this and see how it goes. Base color. Do the batik. I think I'm not going to do any offsets on that. I think we're just going to go with that one. So this is going to be 6 batik. I spelled batik right? I can't tell. I can't. I really need to get new glasses. Next week, I'll actually schedule to see an optometrist if they don't want to charge too much for an eye exam. Then I can get new lenses in an old pair of frames I have. Uncheck simulation settings. There we go. All right. I know I have one with cherries, and what was the other one? I did three. Oh, gingham. I got a blue gingham. I want to do white touches with that. I was thinking Wizard of Oz with this one. So we're going to do white touches on these parts, and we'll do white touches on the pockets. Where'd my white go? There it is. That's going to look kind of like that. I want to do white in. No, I like this maybe a little better than doing the bodice in. Even though the hero texture, I'm leaning towards that. I can always change my mind. You're doing one with a raglan right now and using the bikini bottom. Sweet. All right, let's save that as a material file. This is 07 Blue Gingham. Gingham. Is that how? I can never pronounce that. And maybe no O there. And let's capitalize that. And hit OK. And that I gotta get rid of that batik. I lost my and undo simulation settings. Okay, and then we have I have a cherry. I'm gonna put a cherry on top. And I don't think I'm gonna have trim on this one. I think it's just gonna be straight up cherry. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. Firstly, it's outside at a lake. So far, so good. Save file export. Said 08. Oh, cherry. Cherries. Say cherries. Dang it, I didn't type in the 8. We can fix that. We have the technology. I'm gonna rename that. Something in here says rename. There it is. Get that 8 in here. That's better. All right, now we're going to set up our worn textures. So, same drill. Maybe I'll just do a black silk too, and we'll just do a black. You know what? I think I'm just going to copy this, paste it to everything but the straps, which are already like that. Save that out. 09 black. And now I'm done mucking around with these. All right, now let's set. I'm going to reapply this, and I'm going to set it up for the dirty textures. We're going to swap out. Need that, this, and that. And this is a silk, so what I'm looking for is I have a worn metallic silk texture in here somewhere. I think there is metallicity. Looking for worn cotton, metallic. What I need. Do I have a worn silk metallic right there? Swap that out. Base color, we're going to swap that out for the worn black. there. And we're going to swap out the roughness for the worn silk roughness. I think was down there. Should be good. Okay, so the rest of it, this. That, not the pockets, not the top. Actually, yeah, the top and the zipper. All right, I think we're good with that. See if we got a worn cotton metallic in here somewhere. Worn cotton metallic. There we go. Replace that with the worn red. Worn black and red. I got a worn base red. Maybe I should also make a 10th red one. I don't know. Anyhow, is that what and then I need to swap out the roughness for the worn cotton roughness right there. Okay. Should be good. Let's save that. We're going to save over this, and right here, RS01 worn red and black long. Check simulation settings and accept. Okay, got this. So this stuff gets replaced with, actually, what I'm going to do is copy that and apply it to the whole thing. I'm going to adjust the displacement on this. Yo, Art, how are you doing today? I'm going to swap all of this out for the black and white. The worn black and white. So somewhere in here is something that says worn black and white. There it is right there. And then I have white trim straps and top ribbon, top center, and the pockets and the lower hem. So this is all the worn white. So somewhere in here is something that says worn white. I think worn white basic color. There it is. That color is so grungy I didn't even notice it come in. I'm just double checking. It did not, I did not change that. Let's try this again. There we go. I see it now. All right, let's save that. So that is 02 worn black and white long. Uncheck, simulation, accept. Okay, blue and white. It's an awful lot like this. Except we got blue in here instead of black and white. And there's the warm blue and white. Oh, and I wanted to put that down here as well. Right. We knew that. And then we're going to save that. Right there. Save worn. Save. Check. Simulation settings. Okay, this. Kind of like this, but we got black trim instead of. Here, let's just start off with this and swap this all out for the worn yellow and black. Then I have black trim here, here. Something in here says worn black. Right there. Yep. All right. Save. Chris, did you put Ceramorph on there that comes? Pretty close. There's a. We can make it shorter. We'll save that. We'll do the. We'll take a little detour and we'll do the length morphs or the length materials. So I'm going to set that up to be worn. Now we're going to set this up and make some opacity material files. That'll change the length of the dress. Uncheck all simulation settings. Excellent. And accept. Okay, so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset all my materials to a weird generic material. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tweak the opacity maps and the displacement maps for the various lengths. So I come over here. I am looking for without opacity. We're just going to set that all to 1. And then we'll load in. We'll do the long one first. I want that one right there. Make sure that's set to 1. That's set to 0. That's set to 0.15. And set the displacement level to 6. So that's kind of the default length. Also, I think I'm gonna. Do I want to tweak the bump in the normal maps? I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave those alone. So anyhow, let's just do a quick little test render, see what it's looking like. I should just see a little bit of crease at the bottom edge. I can't see that because my thumbnail's too small. I'm going to make my thumbnail. We're going to render it a little bit larger for just a little bit here, just so we can see what we're doing. Just to kind of make sure the displacement map looks okay. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, so we're going to save this as a opacity long material file. I'm going to do it like this. You are selected. Come over here. Material preset. And we're going to set it up. We're setting it up so that it only changes the opacity and the displacement map. So I'm going to call you RSOO. Opacity long. Actually, do I want to? I'll say 01 long. Actually, I don't have to say 01 because long, mid, short will automatically. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check only modifieds. And we're going to uncheck. For some reason, I've got simulation settings in there that I just can't get rid of that file. So all I'm saving are just this, the cutout and the displacement on all of my material zones. Okay, and then we're just going to accept that. Boom. All right, we're going to tweak. We're going to tweak our displacement map. Go back over to here. We're going to use the mid one now. That one right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hide the lower parts of the dress. Like that. So now we have the mid version. I'm just going to save that out. Hero preset. There, opacity long becomes opacity. I'm going to get rid of this number here. I'm going to say opacity mid. And once again, we check only the modifieds. We're just taking a quick peek. Yep, okay, looking good. Uncheck all simulation settings and accept that. Yay. All right, now we just have to do this one more time. Do that. I'm going to use the short displacement map. And what that does is it's just putting creases on both sides of the hems. I don't want to see those creases on the longer versions. So I use separate displacement maps for each of those. Should be good. Then we're just going to take that and hide them. So may not be quite short enough for Sarah, but I don't know. We'll add a lengthening morph in here too. All right, let's save that out. Material preset. I'm going to do that, and we're going to say short. And same thing, we just check only the modifieds. And that's what my special shader does. It sets everything to like a default value. And then when I make changes, it's easy for me to just save all of that by saying select modified. Except somewhere there's simulation settings that I can't get at hidden in there. But it's easy enough to just uncheck all of those. So we're good. Alrighty. Now if I apply this, got our long dress. If I do that, it's a little shorter. And if we do that, it's even shorter. The problem is with this, it's got black on the hems, so I'm going to make some custom materials just for those. Anyhow, where did we leave off? Both you and so probably okay. You could just turn it all to fishnet. You know that, right? If you're really being immodest, you can just make the whole thing fishnet. You're good to go. All right, we were working on the worn materials when we were to do the opacity maps for the lengths. So we're doing the white and black, which is an awful lot like the yellow and black, except I'm going to use that white and black map. Swap that out for that one right there. I should render this just to make sure it looks good. And then I don't have to redo all my worn materials again. Nothing quite like realizing that I don't like the way the worn materials are looking and then redoing everything. That looks fine. I'm not getting any weird finishes or whatever on that, so I think that's probably good. Cancel that. Did I save you yet? I haven't saved you yet. Let's save you. Okay, this is 05 worn white and black. Uncheck simulation settings and save that. And I do that because you can customize your simulation settings. And if you've gone to all the trouble to make everything, change your simulation settings, it's kind of annoying if you come in here and say, hey, you know what? I'm happy with this, but I want to use the blue one. And then that just screws up all your simulation settings. So we don't save those. Okay, we're done with that. Batik. An awful lot like this, except it's a solid color, and I have a worn batik. So we're just going to plop over here and browse and say, bum, 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 right there, worn batik. Then we'll render out these thumbnails, then we'll go on to the shoes. We also have to do the buttons. And I may or may not do red versions, but we'll see. And then after that, I think I might play with some of the other projects I've got going. And I stopped, I know. Here's a, oops, I hit the wrong button. I wanted this. I wanted the material preset. There we are. Oh, sick, fatigue. And we're going to say worn. Hold on, check, save. Okay, the gingham, the white, and so let's change you to worn. Gingham. There it is, worn gingham. And we're just going to change the colors of these. The white, worn white. And I'm going to save that. I think that was 7. I'm going to say worn there. And uncheck, accept. And the cherries, we're just going to, and that's just one texture. Swap all of that out for the worn cherries. Right there. And save that. Oh, I have a black one to do too. I guess I might as well set up a red. Oops, dang it. No, I don't want to replace you. That was a mistake. I forgot to type worn in front of that. Uncheck. There we go. Excellent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the worn version of this. Because the black and the red are going to be silk. So that's a silk right there. So I'm going to copy that. Apply that to everything here. And that's the black worn version. Accept that. Then I'm going to switch this for worn red color. Red and black, that's red. That. I don't have a red in here, so we're going to set that up. Material preset. Just zoom down here, check on that. You say 10, change that to worn red. Hold on, check. Excellent. And now I'm going to apply the black and swap that out with a red color. That one right there. Save that. 10 red. Okay. I should have called those dress. I will. We're going to rename all of these to be dress. I can separate that from shoes and buttons. That's going to stay the same. So let's go in here. We're going to do a couple of little things. I'm going to just rename all of these files, starting with that one right there. Scroll down to here. Use the old power renamer. You're just going to be rs space. We're going to replace that with rs space dress space. Apply that. Should be good. Refresh. Excellent. Okay. Moving along. Let's render out our thumbnails for these. And then I'm gonna worry about these long versions later for these other versions. We're just gonna render out these ones for right now. So here, I got a camera for this. Go. And we just gonna do that. Do this. I've changed the render settings, so let's fix that. So 256 by 256. All right, looks good. Save. Right there. We are saving that one right there. Okay. So we just have to do this 20 times for the dress. Hopefully that's not too dark. I can probably stop these short, except that one's done. Well, it's rendering relatively quick, but I could always just stop it a little short and then just save that. It's probably good enough. Saves me a few seconds, I suppose. That one's going really fast. You know, those pockets could be dirtier. I don't know. Maybe we'll tweak that. Enough. That. Render, render, render. Close enough. Art said something. I can't read it because I got stuff in the way. Sorry, but old manliness is catchy. All right. Hey, take care, Art. Thanks for being here. We will catch you later, buddy. We're coming up on 60% of the way done. The dress. Excuse me. I'm going to do tattered opacities too at some point. I haven't made those maps yet, though. But they'll be added up here. There'll be like a tattered version of the long, mid, and the shorts. I think I just rendered that. Dang, those one versions really render fast. I got 4 more, aka 20% left. You. Oh, I did the wrong. Did I not? You look black. Wait a minute. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Okay, did you not turn red? You did not turn red. Dang it. Apparently I screwed something up on that save. There's the red. How's my red worn looking? Look okay. Think. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, let's go. Actually, let's do the thumbnails for the opacities while we're here. I probably need to use a different camera for that though. I want to show it get longer, shorter. What you call it? Let's do this. I'm going to switch that over to this generic silk, and I'm just going to put this gray color on here. It's going to pop over to. Let's try this bottom camera here. Yo, Chris the Lone Arm Lone Star in the house, baby. Hey, thanks for popping in. Everybody, check out Chris. He's a super cool gamer. That's mostly what I think you do, right? Am I good with this? I'm going to change the lengths. We're going to apply the lengths. I'm working on textures for this dress. Let's render that. Right now I'm rendering thumbnails for files. It's exciting. That's the quality content people are here for. Always brings up that question, what the hell am I watching? There's the mid version of it. That is there we go, mid version. This is the short version. Bullet Magic. All right. Now we're going to make thumbnail files out of all of these. Right now, these are all just janky ass looking files, but we're going to fix that. So basically, I just covered up chat. Sorry. I'm going to select all of these little files and get rid of them. Should be 23 when I get done selecting. If not, something went amiss. I got 23. Excellent. All right, we're going to sort by type because it makes it easier to work with. So I can just come over here and grab all my PNGs, except for that one's going to go away, so we're not worried about it. All right, we're going to resize all of this to be 91 by 91. The resize doesn't overwrite, so I don't have to worry about that. Excellent. Now we're going to sort by date so that my new... Oh, you did not come out right, did you? I got to resize that cherry right there. So let's get rid of that. Sometimes it does that. Did I lose my... No, there it is. All right, looks good. When I do this, it should say I got 24 items. Why do I have 24 items? There should be 23. I've got a duplicate of something that shouldn't be here. You look like you're not supposed to be here. We're going to see if we screwed something up. All right, we got to rename all of this. What are you doing there? I got rid of you. Use. Did I not? Yeah, you're supposed to be deleted. Let's try this again. Says I got 23. Should be good. And my apologies, I've got this blocking chat right now. We're going to just rename that. Apply that. Should be good. Let's see how we're looking. All right, we're going to do a refresh. See if we've got anything that looks wonky. Oh, that's right. You're left over. I'm not worried about that. That's a file I'm going to get rid of eventually anyhow. There are the length opacities. Looking good. All right. All of this should work with the Genesis 9 version. I think I might take a little break and we'll work on some morphs on the Nocturne gown. I still have to do the shoes and the buttons, so I think I will do a little bit of work on the Nocturne gown and then swing back and we can work on the shoes and the buttons. And my brain stopped. Oh, what I do want to do is I want to render the Genesis 9. I want to render these out first. I want to make sure that this is set. Do I have a material file here? I do, but it's probably not right. I have a T-Force preset. I do not. Let's hide all of this. And then let's get a Genesis 9 in here. Set that up for the feminine. Oops. That. Excellent. Back over to here. Let's see how this dress is looking. I should have the buttons on here, right? Do have the buttons on here. Okay. Now, for any of my presets, I'm going to tweak the material settings on that. I want to check something here in general. Mesh resolution is set to high. Mesh smoothing is set to generic. Okay, that got reset, so let's do this, and then I'm going to resave. I'm going to just resave the preset here. Save as a wearable preset. Override that. Yes, I do want to overwrite that. Okay, we're not going to save the eyes, but we are going to save the dress and all the buttons. Excellent. We're here. Put the shoes on. Nope, my shoe file's missing stuff. All right, I'm going to make a material file for the base shoes so that I can apply that to these over here. What I'm going to do, actually, I can just do this. I think I can just copy that surface. And just paste it to everything over here. Also, I don't have this saved with a foot post, so we're going to resave that. Here, just do a paste on that. Excellent. All right, do I got a foot pose? Yes, but I didn't click on that. There we go. All right, I'm going to resave the shoes with the pose. So that's going to be saved as a wearable preset. Select that. Over here, say wearable preset. Place the shoes with that. We only want to do the shoes, so we're going to uncheck all of this. I also want to save the pose, so we're going to come over here. Drill down to the feet. Use the left foot and everything under that. The right foot, accept that. Yay. I'm going to save this as a hierarchical material or pose preset. That's the way Daz wants me to do it. So I'm going to do it like this. A hierarchical pose preset. Yes, baby. I'm going to overwrite that with this. Yes. Okay, so I'm not going to save any of the settings on those. And I'm going to uncheck that. You know, here's I forgot how to do this. Here's how I do it. I'm going to select the parts I want to save. Do that. It's always different between doing it as a wearable preset or doing it as a hierarchical pose preset. A little annoying. You can do it one way on one, and it's a different way of doing it on the other. So I'm going to expand that out. Expand that out. Start from the foot. Shift click all the way down to here. And I'm going to uncheck thigh and shin and these twists here. And now we're going to say this is a hierarchical pose preset. There we go. So I think I saw Johnny pop in, but something popped in the way. Hold on. Filter save that. Save. Hey, Johnny T Bird. How's it going? Going good. We're working on a rockabilly dress outfit. I'm going to replace you. I'm going to uncheck everything. I'm going to come over here and check only selected items. And we're going to accept that. There we go. Now I need to make thumbnails. So that's our next step. Let's Control D that. I'm going to center that up. We're going to hide the Genesis 9 figure here. Right there. Oh, yeah, I got those eyes. Creepy eyes. Where's the eyes? There. I could just delete them. I'm going to leave them there. I think that's good. No, actually, let's rotate that so I can see the shoes a little bit better. I'm going to do this. So we're going to render the thumbnail, then we're going to render the tip file, and then convert it to the thumbnail. All right, is good. Save. This is the Genesis 9 versions we're doing now. So we're coming over here. And that was the outfit. So I'm going to replace that file. I'll hide the shoes. Zoom in on the dress. That's enough. Okay, save that out. Overwrite that. All right, let's do the shoes. Let's get the shoes back in here. Hide the dress. Zoom in on the shoes. Got the wrong thing selected, don't I? Yep, there we go. All right, let's render the shoes. Excellent. Overwrites that file there. Then I'm going to render a thumbnail for the pose. So we're going to hide. Actually, let's bring you back. Hide the shoes. Let's change the material on this to mannequin. Well, what I call mannequin. Kind of like that. Show feet, baby. Looking good. Save that out. Overwrite that. Now I'm going to convert these all to thumbnails. They're not thumbnails yet. They're these tip files. If I do this, you can see what we just rendered. Now we'll just come browse to folder location. Get rid of these. I'm going to resize these. Hopefully it doesn't screw it up this time like it did last time. Good. Now we're going to rename these. Get rid of make them proper thumbnail names. So we replace that with that. Should be good. Alrighty. Now if I refresh, there's our pretty thumbnails. Yay. And we're actually working on the materials over in another folder. So I'm going to take a short break from this outfit for a little bit before we go back and do the shoes. The material files for the shoes, because we just finished the material files for the dress. Let's go take a look at the Nocturne outfit. Did I reset up the morphs for these? I can't remember. They got janky the other day. You know what? I'm going to save this as a thumbnail file. Let's do that. File, save as scene. So means I'm going to put this over in my promos folder. And you are, I don't think I've got a promo folder, don't I? I do, there it is. I do have a promo folder. So this will be Rockabilly Swing, I'm going to say 2025. Spot this to keep it from not being confused with the old version I did years ago. And you're the thumbs. Thumbas. Thumbs. There we go. All right, I'm just going to do File, New, just to kind of clean things up a little bit. All right, we are working on this nocturne dress for a little bit now. And I don't know. We'll see where I am after I do the Genesis 8 version. I might just do the Genesis 8 version, switch back to doing the shoes on the swing, on the Rockabilly dress. Let's get a Genesis 8 in here. I want to clean up the morphs on these. I probably don't have to do much cleanup on the panties, but the main gown itself might need some cleanup. I don't even recall if I redid. I rebuilt this after we worked on it Thursday. I wasn't happy with it. I got done and I went, you know what? I'm probably going to clean up that beige mesh. That looks a little janky. Let's put the panty in here and see how that's looking. You just want to make sure that that doesn't pop up. So did I apply starter morphs with this? I don't remember. Let's take a look. Come over to the scene folder. I'm going to select the gown. This. Go back up here. Go to favorites. I'm going to kind of see. I did not. Let me redo that. We did this the other day, and then I ended up rebuilding it, so all that work went away. I'm going to get rid of that for a second. I'm going to go get my bodysuit for quickly adding morphs into things. We did this Thursday, but I broke it. So we're back doing this again. So somewhere in here is a file called bodysuit 2022. There we go. People, Genesis 8, clothing, bodysuit. I want this onto there. I'm going to go back to the gown. I'm going to plop that into the scene. We're going to parent that to this body dress. Hope this works. I still have to clean it all up with ZBrush, and that's mostly what we're going to do now. General mesh fit to body dress. Accept that. Do I have mesh smoothing on here? I do. I'm going to switch you to generic. Although for right now, I probably don't need that on. Anyhow, let's get the. Let's just. Are you not on here? What the hell? Why is the body dress fit to the body dress? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Damn it. I may have done that before. You are fitted to the Genesis 8. You're just not parented nicely. That's better. Where did you go? Oh, I reloaded the panties, damn it. That's why I hid the body dress. I was wondering what was going on. There's the gown. So before I get going, I'm not crazy about the way that's looking, so I'm going to clean that up a little bit in ZBrush. Right up here, it just looks weird. Actually, I'm going to apply you to this. I'm going to delete this body dress for a second. I want to just work on, let's try this, that, and that. And now I probably have to shut down and reload after I clean this up. Using GoZ can be a little funky sometimes. There we go. Do that. Load you in. Slide into edit mode. Frame that up. And you come in. Good. Good. That way I can tell if I'm. So let's make this brush smaller. Let's adjust the intensity on the smoothing. That. Smooth that out. Maybe smooth these out a little bit. I think I'm going to leave that. Smooth that out. Hopefully this doesn't jank the UVs up too much. It shouldn't. Let's take a look at other parts just to make sure. And other things I think I want to smooth out before we take the base mesh. I think that's going to be fine. That's a little weird looking. I'm just double checking and making sure that panty doesn't accidentally slip through. I think we're fine. We'll activate the Go Z. Again, I can't see chat. Dang it. I'm going to do this. Update base mesh. Accept that. You did not change. As you are probably... We're going to redo the smoothing modifier on that. That's probably why it's not changing. That might have been my only problem, the smoothing modifier. Heck. Let me just select that. Come over here. Go to edit geometry. I'm going to remove the smoothing modifier. Then we're going to reapply it. And actually, if I do this, I want to try something. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to double check and make sure this goofiness just wasn't from the smoothing modifier, in which case what I just did wasn't necessary. So we're going to remove that smoothing modifier. Nope, it still looks goofy. All right, never mind. Well, that did serve a purpose. Are you not? Gotta do that. There we go. We're going to resave this. And how's the D-force looking? There's a little bit of contraction, so that's what it was doing there. I think that's going to be fine. Clear that. Just going to double check my settings. Parameters. Mask resolution is set to high. Mask smoothing. So we're going to change that to be generic. Memorize that so it doesn't accidentally get refreshed back to base. Take a look at our surface tab and see if I set that up. That all looks good. Oh, I still have it called G9. I should rename that and save it. G8 female. All right, let's save that as a figure prop asset. My secret button. You too can add your own buttons. Otherwise, you have to go to navigating through menus to find that. Projects. This is down in lingerie. And I'm calling this Nocturne Gown. I'm going to update this one over here, right there. So we're going to replace that. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. This is all blank because I have the database turned off. This will probably be fine. I'm actually going to shut this down. Actually, no, before I do that, let's transfer those morphs into the bodysuit or into the body dress before I shut down. I don't know if you can hear it, but my neighbor's over there having fun with the chainsaw. Hopefully you can't hear that. All right. I should resave that so it parents. It is fitting too, but it's not parenting. There we go. Load that in. That was the panty again. Damn it. I really should make thumbnails for these. There we go. And then we're going to apply this to the dress. Fit to bodysuit. Say okay. I'm going to turn the. Didn't I save that with the fixed shape? Dangity dang it. I'll worry about that later. I still have ZBrush open. I still have ZBrush open. Okay. I might be able to get around this. What am I doing? I'm going to turn the collision off. There we go. You aren't the base shape. Why are you no longer the base shape? Is this going to work? Nope. All right, I got to redo that. For some reason, it didn't work. Anyhow, let me dial in these quick outfit starting morphs. We'll first start with the Genesis morphs. And I don't know if you hear Thursday, you saw me just basically, I have to just dial that, turn it off, dial, and I'm in edit mode. Let's turn edit mode off. So this helps auto-generate basic morphs for all of this stuff inside the clothes. Could be a few more. Then there's some adjustment morphs I have actually sitting in the body dress itself. I'm gonna do those right in here. Got ZBrush in the way. Sorry about that if you said anything. Oh, dang it. Go back to where you were. Okay. And now we're going to add these adjustment morphs to the dress, the gown, the dress. I got to save all of that out. I'm going to clean it up with ZBrush. If there's any time left, we go back to start making materials for the Rockabilly shoes. Whee! This is that exciting part of content creation that everybody is into, right? No? All right, I think I'm good. So what I'm going to do is come over here and save these as modified assets. I'm going to save that in the base. It's going to, you know what? I'm just going to save everything. Then I'm going to shut down Daz and reopen it. And I'm going to try to clean up that dress again. We still have. So anyhow, let's close ZBrush. Close Daz. Nope, I don't want to save that. Thank you for asking. All right, let's reopen the Daz. Oh, nope, it's not launching. Let's try it again. Nope, still not launching. Okay, are you ready to launch now, Daz? Nope, maybe not. Maybe. It's still thinking about it. I don't need you. I can put you two away. Oh, there it is. That looks like it has launch window. About frickin' time. All right, let's get a Genesis 9 female in here. Script has been executed outside of the expected environment. What the hell? Apparently I clicked on it too fast. He wasn't quite ready for me. Alrighty. Put you on. Zoom in. I'm going to switch over. Oh, there's my smoothing morph. Yay. we'd be so happy. Okay, I'm going to add the panty in here too because we kind of want to see where that lines up just in case. And we're going to select the Genesis 8 and we're just going to go through here and tweak all the matching morphs that I want to match, like breast cleavage. Yeah, totally didn't save right. Did any of you save right? Like I totally loaded in a different thing. Oh, for crying out loud! I'm going to redo this. Sorry. Mm, mm. Except now they're going to auto create off of this. So here, let's try this. Some reason all those morphs I just auto created didn't save like I thought I'd saved them. I might need to just clean up the data directory over there. I'm going to take a look at the data directory for that. See what we got over here. So we are working on here. I got two of these. I wonder if that's confusing things. You know what? I probably use that. You know, it has these adjustment morphs in here. Yo, Bones, how are you doing? How things going? I'm still stalking on. I mean, catching your stuff on Instagram. It is looking awesome. So I'm going to check something here. I'm just going to load this in here and see what we got. It's whining that I'm missing stuff. That's fine. I think I'm just going to resave that out. Do this. I'm great. Thanks, buddy. I'm doing well. I'm working on a couple of outfits today. We're working on a Rockabilly outfit, and also I'm working on this little nightgown thing. Okay, so that's going to complain. We're going to just resave this though, and hopefully that'll clear that error up. I'm going to resave it over that. Yes. All of this is good, except I don't want you to say skirt. You are a dress. You're actually more like underwear. You're sleepwear. And thank you for the shout out there, Mr. Charles. That's right. We've got a Bones command, so you can go over and actually check out Bones on Instagram. Hopefully, that's still your Instagram handle, Bones Inc. Comic Studio. All right, let's take a look. There, did I get another one of these? I did not. Okay. Now, if I delete this and reload it, the error should go away. Nope. I resave all of these. I got what I have is probably more files that are looking at the old version of this dress. You might need to update. You simplified it a bit since. Oh, okay. We can do that. What is the current one? Yeah, sorry, page isn't available. Somebody has some simplified. Um, all right, we're gonna update that command. And I am so lazy. I'm still using Streamlabs for the CloudBot. Bones comic art. Okay, we're gonna update it for that. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna log in over on screen 2 just in case he wants to dox me. All right, we're going to go over to the cloud bot and we're going to go to commands. Okay, I think I can bring that in. There we go. We're going to edit this and we're going to change that part of the command. And maybe without the space or two. Now let's try that. That's better. And fortunately, I didn't get any booby pictures, so I can keep streaming on Twitch. Yay! So check that out over there at Bones Comic Art on the Instagram. If you've got other links, feel free to share them, as long as they're not like the porn sites. Uh, what are we doing? I'm trying to get this to not generate errors when it loads. Let's try. It's still generating that error. Let me see if I can clean this up. I'm going to delete a bunch of morphs and see if it's in there or not. I got a bunch of extraneous morphs that I don't need, so let's get rid of those and see if that helps any. At a certain point, I'm going to stop screwing around with this and just get to fixing the existing morphs. Those are all good. I have no idea. Do I even need you? You know, a bunch of you are left over from. A bunch of you didn't get updated properly. You know what? I'm just going to delete those and rebuild them. I haven't made any progress with those. Actually, let's do this. Can do is. Oh, you know, those are left over from the bad version. that I redid. I think if I just delete all of this, I got to rebuild all of this anyhow. Cleaned it up a tad, made it more peachy so people don't get weird. Oh, okay. Nice. You occasionally get some stuff that's not Twitch safe over on Instagram. I'm gonna clean those up. I'm gonna clean those up. I don't need these. Those. Is that good? All right, let's see how it loads now. See if I'm making any progress here. All right, that's better. So I've gotten rid of the bending more. So I want to get rid of that. We're going to redo the thing where we did with the body dress. Because apparently those other morphs were blocking my morph save earlier, so I didn't. So what I did earlier didn't get saved. Wah. All right, let's put that on there. Go back to the nocturne gown. Get that in here. We're going to fit this to that body dress. I'm going to just turn the mesh smoothing off right now. All right, and then we're just going to dial these all into this, which should have happened before, but that didn't work out. So same drill, dial. That's what I was expecting the breast cleavage to look like. See, my breast cleavage should have looked something like that. Instead, it wasn't. It was just doing the old school projection, which was looking like poop. The morphs for me to poop on. Yes, maybe I have been watching a little bit of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. I was watching a Rob Reiner roast he was on, and it took a little bit of time for him to get up to speed. It's just saying for me to poop on has gotten a little tired. A little tired. How old is Kyle? How old is that now? Is that like more than 20 years? Something like that? Dang. At least. Yep. Yep, I didn't need that. You swear it was from the 90s? It might have been from the 90s. I have a recollection of watching Triumph the comic. It might have been the early aughts, though. I can't remember. Well, the roast was not. I think the roast was much more recent. Probably the aughts, if not the teens. Um, but I could be wrong. But I did see an old one with Bon Jovi, and that just, oh my God, that was. He started on SNL and then ended up on Conan. Yeah. All right, we're doing the. I need to do the adjustment morphs. Let's see how this goes. Adjustments. There we go. Just gonna do the same thing. So I dial and undo and dial and undo and dial and undo. I'm just gonna hopefully. We're gonna go check our. This time they should save out properly. It should have overwritten the old ones, but for some reason it didn't. I think it's probably because they were pointing to an old version that I had deleted. I'm thinking could be. I don't know. Upper back. There, that skirt. There, that skirt again. Okay, let's try this. Modifier asset. We're going to save to base. I'm going to, you know what? I'm just going to click on everything and hit OK on that. Let's go take a look. Yay. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. Let's see how this. I'm going to restart Daz just to be safe. One more time. And then we're going to clean up these morphs. And I don't know. We'll see how fast this goes. Some days cleaning up morphs goes faster than others. Where am I? Who am I? There I am. You got it. February 97. Is that the Rob Reiner roast? Dang. Or is that Bon Jovi? Or is that when he started on SNL? It was when Conan first. Oh, okay. Conan first, not SNL. Swore he used to. So Conan in 97. All right, let's launch. There comes our Genesis A female again. For me to poop on. Sorry. That line gets tired very fast. Okay, let's add that. Let me switch over to the headlamp because it gets me better shading. And let's get the panty in here just so I can make sure I don't inadvertently have it peeking out from underneath. What we do is we're going to select the gown. I'm going to select that. I'm going to come up here to favorites. And now we're going to just dial these in. That is what I wanted it to do. Your damn grocery is late. But not really. You're just spoiled. Oh. Oh, he's not late. He's just not here at the beginning of the window like they normally do. Okay, I need to bring up some file names here. 2-hour window. Damn it. You'll never get your nap that way. Okay, so I have a folder with a bunch of copies of these morphs. It's just easier for me to just copy and paste these names, like that one right there. I'm going to need these later, and that goes over the screen too. And then we're going to activate ZBrush again. And I'm going to accept that. Normally on the road before 2 hours starts. I don't know, maybe he's got more deliveries today. Or she. Alright, so we're going to do, I have to reset this every time. I'm going to make that smaller. Just the smoothing down. Bring that intensity down. And basically what I want to do is just smooth that out. It wasn't poking through, but it looked a little weird. So here, I'm going to fix that. Activate Go Z. So here we type in the name of that morph. So I copied it earlier. Override existing and accept, and that cleans it up just a little bit. Yay. So I'm going to put ZBrush right here so I can still see chat. And we can bitch about how the delivery guy didn't show up right at the beginning of the window. All right. That's all right. Moving along. Breast diameter. That looks perfectly fine. Breast gone. I think I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. I'm going to up the intensity on the smoothing a little bit. All right, breast gone. It's fine. Oh, I still had breast diameter dialed in. Damn it. I'm going to touch that up again. Just a little. You see, I got a little bit of a. I had another morph dialed in with that. Should be okay. Okay, is good. Oh, let's I'm going to switch a perspective camera because that doesn't you can't undo the perspective camera, which is kind of handy. All right, breasts heavy. Totally going to smooth that out. Okay, I'm getting a little weirdness on the edge there. I got to make an adjustment to this. And then I got to be really careful about putting up that edge. I don't like the way ZBrush smooths the edges. I like the way Blender does it much better. But I don't have a Go Blend. I have a Go Z. Go Blend would be really cool. I think somebody playing with something that might do that, but I didn't want to spend the $50 or so to just see if it actually did what I wanted it to do. Okay, did I get... There it is. PBM breast heavy, overwrite, accept. That looks nicer. All right, implant left. Looks okay. Implant right. Fine. Breast implants. I can live with that. All right, natural left. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. So I'm coming over here and copying that file name. We're popping over to ZBrush. Smooth that out a little. And honestly, it doesn't do a bad job of smoothing, but I can do a little bit better. Oops, I'm going to cancel that. I hit the wrong button. We're going to do this again. I forgot to check the box to override existing. That's what happened there. That's better. And that one there's got a little bit of the weird crease in it, so we're going to fix that as well. Okay. And I'm probably going to end up with a lot of... But this is a lot better shape than what it would be if it just did the basic projection. So that's the reason why I waste the time with the bodysuit. Move that out. I have to pull you out a little. No. I'm doing that lightly so I can not do weird things to the edge. All right, I think I'm fine with that. Oops, damn it, I did it again. Got to click on overwrite. All right, brush shape 2. Gonna clean that one up as well. Same thing, I'm trying to just smooth that edge out just a little bit. Thing I don't like about it is when you smooth an edge in ZBrush, it actually kind of contracts inward. I really don't want it doing that. If I keep smoothing that, it keeps coming towards. And Blender doesn't do that. I don't know. I just like the way Blender does it better. That's just me. And I remember to overwrite this time. Yay. Go shift key to smooth. Right mouse button. Then just the right mouse button to pull it back out. Or the left mouse button. I'm using my right hand. That's what's confusing me. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. All right. I could probably smooth that a little bit. All right. Is that 5? That is 5. And rebuild this. Almost 90. Oh, dude. That's brutal. I don't know. How warm is it in here? It's like 78, I think. My cheap ass thermometer only goes to 80, though. The cat's living. Habib, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. We're smoothing out morphs for a dress. I've been making materials for another dress, but right now I'm just cleaning up the matching morphs. So we are working on the Genesis 8 version of this gown. And right now I'm just kind of cleaning up morphs. Yeah, thanks for popping in and saying hi. I appreciate that. Where am I? I am on number 6, so I'm going to copy that name. We are using ZBrush, which I purchased back in 2004, and they let me upgrade it till 2022, till they were purchased by an evil money grubbing corporation. Did I say that out loud? Damn it! Now they're going to send their silencing ninjas after me. ZBrush was awesome. They would just let you get the free upgrade for like ever. Pixelogic. And then was it Maxon? Is that who took them over? People who make Cinema 4D. And then they stopped that. You know, they went subscription. And I got as many free updates as I could, and this still works very well for me. So that's where we are. I think that's good. You just wrapped up G9 piece of After Dark, so now I have all the pictures in 8 and 9 all done and ready for texturing. Yay! Okay, I did 6. We're moving on to 7. So let's undo that. Dial that in. Over here. Copy that morph name. Activate Go Z. Pop in here. Smooth that out just a. Got it very gently smoothing that edge. As I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of itch smoothing. Generally works well. I just don't like the way ZBrush smooths edges. But Go Z is so easy to use if you have ZBrush. I mean, this is just, I mean, it's almost like making these changes in Daz itself. Except, oops, I accidentally launched you. Copy that. And also add a choker to the mix, and then it will become a 4-piece outfit. Dude, I know those. The agony of realizing that you've got like a 2-piece outfit with shoes and jewelry, and then it's like, oh, why did I add the bracelets? Why? Because they look cool. That's why. Um, am I on 8? I am on 8. Did I do 8? I don't think I did 8 yet. I think I copied 8. No, you look like you were kind of done. Maybe not. We can make it a little better, maybe. Now 8's officially done. Now that I'm paying attention. All right. West size. I could probably do a little better on that. It looks a little wonky, but it'll smooth out when you deforce it. I super believe. Yeah, feel free to ask a question. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but if I didn't want people asking questions, I wouldn't stream. You know, if I needed to just focus on stuff, there's a solution to that. Don't do it with other people who can type in chat at you. All right, breast size is looking good. Breast small. You know what? I think that's probably going to be fine. All right, now we're on to the body morphs. Body size. I got to kind of back up on this a little bit so we can kind of spin around. I'm going to make the panties a really obnoxious color so we can easily spot them. And that way, if they poke through, it'll become painfully obvious. That's the plan. Now I got to go back to. So I select the gown first, and then I select this, and that helps ensure that this is what we're working on in ZBrush. I could probably just select this. Anyhow, where were we? Body size. You know what? My body size is looking good. I don't think I have to touch that up. Whoops. Accidentally undid my color change. All right, body tone. Body tone seldom needs to be touched up because it makes almost no difference. All right, we're going to do bodybuilder details. I think that was fine. Bodybuilder size might get a little bit of. I think that looked okay. I'm going to run it again. Yep. All right, let's dial in the full bodybuilder now. It's probably all right. Okay, and then where are we? We're done with bodybuilder. Emaciated. Am I happy with that? Do I want to smooth it out? You know what? I'm happy with that. I'm going to let it go. All right, we'll take a look at fitness detail. We'll probably not do anything noticeable. Fitness size. You know, if body build size didn't give us a problem, this probably won't. Then I'm just going to check the back on that. And we'll just do the fitness, which styles in both of those things, but sometimes a little bit different. That's looking fine. Okay, heavy, we may want to touch up a little bit. Or maybe not. He might be typing. Could be typing. I did say I'm willing to answer questions, so if they missed that, hopefully they just heard it again. I'm not the fastest typer in the world. It always happens that after I pop in and say hi to somebody, somebody asks me a question after I read them, and then it like takes me like 3 minutes to type an answer back, and then I've already talked to 4 other people, and I'm like, anyhow. After I apply the transfer utility, your clothing gets a weird shape in some poses. You have a solution for that. It depends on the what you're doing. I D-force. So, um, I mean, yeah, that's just a matter of checking in there and cleaning up your joints. Sometimes you can just touch it up with weight maps. If just touching up your weight maps doesn't work, yeah, then it's corrective body shapes or corrective body morphs. Making morphs to fix things. Part of the reason why I deforce a lot of stuff is I don't have to worry about that. So this is going to be a deforce dress for the most part. I might have to touch up some of the weight maps under the arms, but it's a deforce item. It's meant to be deforced. But if you're doing something, say pants, sometimes you just don't want to say it's deforced. Sometimes you want to actually make it so you can pose it without deforcing, and then you want to maybe. So first thing is to go take a look at your weight maps and see if you can adjust those. And if you're not getting any love doing the adjusting the weight maps, then it's the corrective body shapes or the corrective body morphs or the joint controlled morphs if you're really old. Right? And I've already forgotten what we called them in the poser days. I think we just called them JCMs back then. Shoot, all this talk of D-Force reminds me you need to update the text on the Raglan. Only if you actually want people using D-Force with it and then complaining when it doesn't work. You'll give that a try? Yeah, if I can do a quick example. Let me finish doing these morphs and then I'll bring in another outfit where I can kind of show you what I'm talking about on some of that stuff. Is that do I want to touch that up? Honestly, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, I could probably smooth out the breasts a little bit. So, you know what? Well, let's just do that. So I'm just going to come over. Why are you not in a list? Dang it. I'm looking at screen two. Sorry. Details. I'm going to copy FBM heavy. And we're just going to launch this. I'm just going to smooth out under the breast just a wee bit. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I don't think I need to fix that up too much. JCM, CBM, Oh, this is your first piece of clothing? Okay, so what Daz currently calls it is a corrective body shape. That's where you make a morph that's activated by the joints. I'll explain that after I finish this. How's that? Let's go Z that. This is going really really smooth though, so shouldn't take too long. Fingers crossed. Let's make sure I got that box checked. Accept that. Moves it out just a little bit. Undo that. All right, let's check the pair figure. That just looks fine. see how it looks if it's thin. Ooh, I got a little bit of pokey through there. I'm gonna go touch up that thin morph. And granted, the smoothing did fix it, but I want to make sure it's good without smoothing. Although if anybody complains about that in testing, I'm going to say, well, did it look that way after smoothing? On the other hand, I really would prefer it not to do that. I really would prefer not to have to fix poke throughs with smoothing. I would like it just to look okay. So I think I'm good on that. I mean, I'm here fixing morphs. I might as well touch it up anyhow, right? All right, looks good. And then this is the last one, voluptuous. And we're going to touch up the breasts on that for sure. I mean, it's kind of usable without doing this, but you know, if I can make it a little bit better. Oops, that last smooth added a little pokey. All right, we're good. Control V, overwrite existing morph, accept that should be good. I'm gonna reset you back. So Control Shift F. That work? If you got the latest version, the 4.24, resetting figures got fast. They fixed it. I think it no longer runs through everything to see if it needs to reset it or not. I think it just changes the currently used. I think I'm good. Okay, let's save out my morph targets. So we're going to save this, and I'm going to do it this way through the menu. So we're going to do save as, support asset, down here, modifier asset. I'm too lazy to go through this menu all the time, so I have it on my toolbar. Vendor name, that's me. We're going to do the base product because this is the base product. Click on that. I'm going to accept this. Should be good. All right, let's take a look. I've got an outfit I think can use a little bit of touch up in the crotch. So we'll take a look at that. I can kind of explain. So you should be good. I'm going to just get rid of you and you. And let's go take a look at. I have a teddy that I haven't touched up anything on the weight maps, and I do want to touch up the weight maps on that. Things with longer legs. So the problems when you're working with clothes, the two problem spots are under the arms and right here in the thighs. So if you have clothes that can kind of avoid those areas, you might want to you might want to think that way sometimes. But when you're doing armpits and when you're doing right here in the crotch, those are the trouble spots with rigging. So this is in the crotch, so I'm going to probably need to clean up the crotch just a little bit on this outfit. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this leg. So that I can probably just fix with the weight map brush. So I'm going to come over here, use weight maps. We are looking at left thigh bend, and we want to touch up the left thigh bend on the clothing item here, which I'm calling Twilight Teddy. What am I on? Left thigh bend. I'm going to come over here to tool settings. I'm going to click on general weights. I'm going to smooth that out. Because for this outfit, I really don't need that. If it was a longer legged outfit, I would still probably try to smooth it out. And if that's still not fixing things, then you think about making morphs. I got smooth. Crank that up. I'm going to make my radius a little bit larger. I'm just going to smooth that out. You know what? I'm going to lower that sensitivity down a little bit. So I can just kind of slowly move that back out. I think I've peaked. But we can, if I wanted to, I could make a morph this. Still going to touch that up. Now I'm using the paintbrush as opposed to the smoothing brush. So I'm going to adjust that back to the way I wanted it. And then, is it the Alt? The Control? Nope. It's the Alt. I want the Alt. Are you not doing anything? Maybe we just crank that up a little bit further. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to get some of that back when we smooth it again. Maybe. All right, let's touch up the rear a little bit. I should have put symmetry on. I forgot to do that. Boy. So that's probably not too bad. If I'm still not happy with that, I could always make a morph. But I think I'm probably going to just deforce this outfit anyhow. I'm not going to get too crazy about having these work just right. Oops. What did I just do? Dang it. I fat fingered something. What am I looking for? That left thigh bend. There we go. I don't know what I selected there. Anyhow. All right, that's probably good with that. I'm also going to but like I said, this is going to be deforced, so I'm not overly worried about getting this right. I'm a slacker that way. There we go. Let's abuse you. I'm now getting to the point where the leg itself looks bad, but yet the clothes still look okay. And now I have completely broken the leg, and the clothes still look okay. So I think I'm okay there. Don't you just hate it when somebody complains that your clothes looks bad after posing like this? All right, I'm going to do the other side now. So we're going to basically do the same thing on the right side that we did on the left side. So I am looking for right thigh bend. And coming over to tool settings. Nope, nope, nope. Yes, 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 because I'm in the wrong tool. There we go. That's better. I'm going to start smoothing. You know what? Is that going? And we'll just touch up, and I'm holding the Alt key or the Alt key to unpaint. And then we'll go back to smoothing. I got my smoothing cranked all the way. I'm going to crank this. So that's touching up the weight maps to fix the joint issues. Okay, so also you can redo JCMs. So you can make a morph target and tie it into bends. But that's a little more complicated than what I've got time for today. Anyhow, I'm happy with that. And like I said, this is a D-Force outfit. So actually, let's just run a simulation. Did I set up my D-Force on this? I did. So this is the way the outfit's meant to be used, so I don't really have to worry too much about the joints. But still, when you're posing it, it's kind of nice to have them not look terrible, even though you're going to D-Force it. Of course, that could just be me. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks to this. I'm going to resave this, then we're going to take a quick look. And we have like 10 minutes, which means I'm probably just going to stare wishfully at my shoes. Then we're going to raid out. That's the plan. And then we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. Feel free to hop into the Discord if you haven't already. And if you want to drop stuff in the gallery, we will share it tonight. And my brain stopped. I'm going to do that. I hope that made sense. And I'm hoping I'm not leaving out too much stuff. So, of course, after you're done making all your changes to your clothes, you're going to save that as a figure prop asset. I'm going to redo that. I'm going to set up a couple of other things on here real quick first. I want to reset that. I want to just make sure my displacement map that I made earlier is actually on here. I've got the wrong thing selected. Let's try selecting that. Okay, these are all been cleaned up, so we're good there. I'm going to leave it white for now. We're going to make materials later, probably maybe this week on stream, or maybe not. We'll see how I'm feeling. Displacement map. I did want to add my displacement map, though. And that's over here in lingerie. This is called Twilight Teddy. Runtime, textures, me, Twilight Teddy, and there's the placement map I set up last night. Okay, make sure that's set to 1. That displacement level to 6. I like to work with a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 0.1, which works out to like 1.5 millimeters. I'm going to do a quick render just to see how it's looking. One last new question. How do you pin the weight brush onto the toolbar? It's one of the standard toolbars, but let me see if I can show you where it is and how to make sure it's up there. I'm probably going to smooth that displacement map out a little bit, a little harsh. Also, of course, my lights are blasting that out. Let's turn those off. Okay, so mine is on the toolbar up here by default. But you can update this stuff with, I think, workspace and customize. Is that where it is? I think, how do you make sure you have this menu up here? The toolbars, you want to make sure it's one of these. Is that the create toolbar? That is not the create toolbar. Is it the creator tools? It is not the creator tools. Somewhere in here is one of these. But there's the help. I don't know where you are. I don't see you. Input, output. That's these running down the side. And I've added a bunch of stuff to that, which is all of these scripts down in here. And there's this create, which, where are you? I don't see. Oh, there's help over here. I'm a little rusty on this, not gonna lie. um, where is that new camera icon hidden at? I'm not. Is there a? Hold on. Let's check something. Window. Is there a way to put which? Can I? If I right click on this. Oh, there we go. This gives you the toolbars you can show. I think. Let's try. Let me try to hide this, and we'll see if we can get it back. So if I right click, which one are you? Are you creator tools? Nope, that was over there. I can put creator tools back. Status bar. Nope, that was somewhere else. Input output. Nope. Viewport tools. That's viewport tools. There you go. It's in viewport tools. So viewport tools, right click on your toolbar, bring up viewport tools. Hopefully you have a toolbar. I'm not sure if you don't have one, how to get that back. And then what are we looking for? Viewport toolbars. We'll go to workspace, customize. There should be a viewport toolbar is on. And if we come over here, viewport tools, you want to make sure that that's in here somewhere. If it isn't, you'll have to add it. And I am not entirely sure where that is. It's in a menu somewhere probably. But because I use toolbars a whole lot, it's hard for me to remember where things are in menus. But let me see if we can figure out what menu that is in. We are looking for the weight node brush tool is what we're looking for. And is that one of these? Edit. So there's a Terrence for utility. You know, maybe he's in create. I really don't remember where these things are. Tools. Oh, there it is. Tools. Doy. So if you don't have it, there's the weight map tool brush. It's in tools. So you should be able to do something like workspace, customize. We're going to look for tools over here, right? Is that how it works? I don't have a tools over here. No. I've been didn't create. I wish there was a way I could type this in and find it. Custom advanced align. I know I'm dang it. That would have been too easy, right? Content library. I mean, if I can find it over here and you don't have it in your toolbar, you can drag and drop it over. Draw, drawing, edit. Is it in edit? Nope. Geometry editing, help surface style. Would have been easy if it did just stick it over. What am I looking for? Joint. You hear that says joint? That would have been too easy, right? Parameters. Nope. You know what? I'm just going to have to kind of look through all of this stuff, right? Somewhere in here. Uh, all right, bridges. Probably not cameras. No. What is CCT? Well, are these exporters or something? Importers. Oh wait, there's a joint editor. Nope. Those are joint edit options. Property editor, transfer utility, weight map, convert figure to weight map, content library. E4 simulation stuff. So I have this there and I dragged it over to toolbar there. I actually added that icon so I can just make your own icons. Just find one and copy it. Hum diddy hum diddy hum diddy hum. Eventually I will accidentally stumble across this thing. Update-based geometry is something else I do a whole lot, so I made an icon for that and added it to a toolbar. So at this point, we're going to end the stream with me hunting through this stuff. Help! So if you need to know where the help lights and Friday's Seamster, you know what? I ended up not using that. It was kind of handy, except I kept forgetting how to use it. So any speed gains it had, I lost from just not remembering how to use the thing. It was kind of handy if I could remember how to keep using it. And that's for creating clothes. I guess that's kind of a semi-recommendation. You can save time with it, except it just didn't quite work out for me. I think there are other content creators out there, DAS PAs, that may be using it. I'm just hoping eventually to stumble across this weight map brush. I have a bunch of stuff where I'm pretty sure I'm not going to see it, but I'm opening them up anyhow. Anyhow, it's almost time for us to raid out. Once I'm done doing this, it's past 4. We'll go. Well, I got to save this still. So once we're done with this, we're going to save out this outfit, and then we're going to call it a day. Yeah, these I've added to my toolbar as well, the simulate and the clear simulation, because I do that a whole lot, and I don't want to have to be going through menus all the time. I mean, that's basically my rule of thumb. If I do something an insane amount, there's a good chance I stuck it on a toolbar. I think I'm running out of weight map brush. Wait, wait, is it? Are you in here somewhere? There's a paintbrush. Nope, I don't see the weight map tool brush. What the hell? I guess that's one of those things that just should be on a toolbar. Maybe. I'm still not quite done going through all my viewport tools. Oh, there it is, viewport tools. So if you don't have it there, you can take it from here and drag and drop it to a toolbar. And you can make your own toolbars too. I forget how to do that. Is it over here? And I don't know. I'm a little rusty. How did I make you? That's a good question. Add a toolbar. I can add a toolbar. There we go. new toolbar, and I think I can just drag a copy of that into there, right? Something like that. And somewhere, it may not fit on my screen because I've got too much stuff on here. I don't know, maybe if we put you over here behind create, then if you got to do apply and then accept. And did you show up somewhere? I'm not sure where that went. Not gonna lie. It could be back here somewhere. I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna figure out where that went. Somewhere out here. Zero figure post. Somewhere around here I should have a extra one of these. But I'm not sure. Are you over here somewhere? I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost today. Anyhow, you can look for them there. So if you don't have this, it should just be a matter of getting that viewport tools showing up again. And if that's not the case, you can try to add it to. I can definitely add it to this toolbar here, I think. But I'm not sure where it stuck this new toolbar. It's probably something that tells it where to show up, and I'm just lost right now. Anyhow, I'm going to save this, and we're going to rate out. Thank you all for being here. Let's come back over to here. Let's make sure I got the Twilight Teddy selected. Let's save you as a figure prop asset. Oh, that's right. Dree is streaming. Is she streaming right now? Or is she streaming tonight? If she's streaming right now, we raid. We raid Dree. I thought it was going to be tonight, but you could be right. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. If Dree is on, we are going to raid our good friend Dream on Music, an absolutely marvelous musician. She is doing a charity stream raid train right today. So I forget what it is. ALZ, AZL. Um, I'm bad at this stuff. Hey, thanks for being here, Abib. I appreciate you. I appreciate the questions, man. Um, dude, I'm saving the teddy. Let's save the teddy. Save that teddy. Save that. Sorry. Um, people, Genesis 8, clothing, me. Gonna overwrite that teddy file right there. TT Twilight Teddy G8 female. Save that. Already exists. Do I want to replace it? Yes, please. Is good. That's the name of the product. That looks good. Happy with that. We're going to accept that. It's going to do its thing. And the weight map changes that I did to this are now saved. So that should be sitting in my content library, having replaced the old version. Anyhow, let's go over and say hi to our good friend Dream on Music, doing music. She's doing part of a raid train. Hold on a second. Where am I? Um, it should be in the end in my announcements. Hold on. I'm gonna. That's not my announcement. Dang it. No. Other people promotions. There we go. Anyhow. Um. Nope, that's not it. Anyhow, let's go say hi to Dream on Music. I gotta bring her up. If there's anybody on the YouTube, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Remember, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, please hang out for the raid so we can go check out the awesome sauce that is one of my favorite music streamers, Dream on Music. Close. There you go. There you go. If you're not following Dree, drop a follow. And so it's Dream on 2 words. Drop a follow. If you can support her, that would be awesome. If you can donate to the cause, that also would be great. Here, let's do this. We got raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, copy that. If you are a subscriber, please use the sub raid call. And I'm going to bring up Dree on screen 2 here. My view says And once again, Irumakin, I know you're not here, but thank you for that raid. We appreciate that. There's a good old dyslexic heart for our pal Irumakin. Say Twitch, stream on music. And I'm going to read this right here. Ending Alzheimer's is what they're raising money for here, with Together Wherever Unite. So anyhow, hopefully you can stick around for the raid. Thank you for being here, everybody. And let's do this. Slash raid free on music. You think I would be able to do that without that work? I think that just vanished into the nether somewhere. Damn it. Let's try that again. Slash raid free on music. There we go. Raid has been started. I'm going to copy my raid call. And we will be back tonight, 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. Happy first Saturday of summer. Yay. It's sunny and it's pretty warm. It's like it's actually summer. Anyhow, let's do this. Raid has been created. I can raid now. Alrighty, thank you all for being here. Hopefully I'll catch you tonight. If not, I hope you have a good rest of a Saturday or Sunday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And let's go over and say hi to Dream On Music. All right. Hasta la vista, baby.